Today is December the 12th, 2018. My name is Tanya Fincham, and along with me is Alex Bishop. We're with Oklahoma State University, and we are in Midwest City, Oklahoma today to speak with Eddie and Norma Chambers. And this is part of our Married for Life project, and they've been married 77 years, almost 78, right?
Almost 78
coming up. So thank you for letting us come today. Norma, let's start with you. When and where were you born?
When I was born in Mansfield, Missouri,
Okay.
on August the 31st,
1924.
1924.
Okay, and Eddie?
I was born in Naval, Missouri in February 24th, 1924.
So same year. Okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And where did you go to elementary school?
Yeah, well, so there's a little country school called Oak Ridge.
Oak Ridge.
Just out of Mansfield.
And how many years were you there?
They,
Through 8? Oh, 8.
and
Was it a one-room school?
one room school.
Was it? How far from your house?
Oh, probably a mile or more.
And how would you get there?
Walk.
And did you have brothers and sisters?
Had sister.
A sister? Older or younger?
Older.
Older. And tell me a little bit about your parents.
Parents,
What did they do for a living?
they farmed.
Farmed. Okay. And what do you remember about the house that you grew up in?
Well, it was a two-story house.
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty nice.
Did you have to share your bedroom?
Yes.
Did you? And how was it heated?
Wood.
Wood. And then air conditioned? Probably
No,
not.
no.
Indoor plumbing?
No.
No.
Now while I was growing up, they got it later.
Got it later. Okay. And did your mom do anything outside of the home?
No.
What was the favorite thing that she cooked?
Oh, I think chocolate cake and beans and
Chocolate cake. I'm with you. Yeah.
Did you have any chores?
do what?
Did you have to do any chores?
Dishes.
Dishes?
Did have to help on the milk cows or gather eggs?
No, I never did have to do that.
You didn't. Did your mom make your clothes?
My grandma made the clothes.
Your grandmother, okay.
Yeah.
They live nearby?
Do what?
Did she live, your grandmother live nearby?
Yeah, she lived with my mother.
Oh, she lived there, okay.
Yeah.
Everybody had something to do then.
Yeah. There was something to do.
Okay, and Ed, where did you go to school?
Most of it was Mansfield, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Mansfield, Missouri.
And was it a one-room school too?
No, it was grade school.
A little bit bigger?
Area, yeah. It was all the grades except all the grades.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what did
First
your
grade, second grade, yeah. Third grade, right on up. They weren't together. Each one had a room.
each had a room, so it was a bigger one than what
Oh yeah, isn't it? Big city of Mansfield.
And what did your dad do for a living?
And various things.
Various things.
Trucks and sawmills and that part of the world was quite a bit of lumber business in and around that OOHRP country.
And did you have brothers and sisters?
I had two brothers and two sisters. I was a twin, in fact.
Okay.
And she passed away about 3-4 months ago, wasn't it?
And where are you in the birth order?
Oldest.
The oldest. So the twins were first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you have chores?
I had chores. Working in the garden and milking the cow.
Okay.
And I was the only one done that. That was my job.
And what was your favorite thing that your mom cooked?
Well, about all we had back then was beans and taters. Taters for supper and beans for dinner.
Okay.
Taters and beans for supper and beans and taters for dinner.
So would dinner be the noon meal, or would?
Yeah, well, I was kind of kidding you on this, but really, my mother, we didn't have bacon back then like they do now. It was called fatback, and we had that and gravy and oatmeal for breakfast, and for dinner we had vegetable beans and taters and stuff like that. Just about what we grew on the farm.
Did she raise chickens?
We had chickens, eggs, and we had all the eggs we could need to eat.
When it was time to kill a chicken to eat, who would do that?
She would usually.
Your mother?
Yeah,
Okay.
she knew how to wring a chicken head off.
What about in your house? Who would do the chicken, your dad or your mother?
My mother.
Well, your mother,
My
okay.
grandmother.
So they had to be strong women, didn't they?
Wring them heads.
Yeah, but much better tasting than they are today, though, weren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And was church an important part of growing up?
Not enough.
Not enough?
Not enough.
Okay.
We went some, but not, my mother was a Christian. My dad wasn't a Christian, but later years.
And what about in your family? Was church important growing up?
Well, it was to me. My folks never
Never went.
went too much, but I liked the church.
Okay. And I know you had chores, so what would you do for fun? Do you have bicycles
We didn't
or
have a lot of fun.
play hopscotch or kick the can or those sorts
Just
of
get out in
things?
the woods and walk and had my slingshot.
Oh,
And,
Well, did you have a doll
Yeah.
growing up?
Yeah.
Had a doll. So when did you two meet?
we met, we were married, we met a year before that, didn't
Yeah.
Where? Where did you, or how did you
we?
meet?
Met in church,
Met in church?
yeah.
Yeah.
And what did you think of him when your first impression of Eddie?
I don't think I really thought about it.
She probably ruled me out.
And what was your first impression of
Oh,
Norma?
I think I just got her impression, stayed with me. And so that's about the way it was.
So, I mean, how did you date your first date? Or events you went together?
Well, back then, a lot of times it was more a group in church. You know, we didn't, as far as going out on a date so much, that wasn't the rule of that day too much. It was just church. And then later, of course, we started dating.
And so you knew each other about a year before you got married?
Oh yeah,
A year.
About a year.
Yeah.
So how long had you known each other before he asked you to marry him?
Probably, what, 9, 10 months?
probably.
Okay.
Probably.
Do you remember how he asked?
No.
No? No, just,
Wasn't too bold, I don't guess.
so you agreed to get married and then it was a couple of more months before you actually got married?
Yeah.
What did your folks think of that?
Well, they probably wasn't too pleased.
I'm trying to do
You know,
my-
they married pretty young back then, most of them.
They did?
Most of
They
my
agreed
people
with
at
it,
school
but I
married
think they
young.
thought it was too young.
Thought you were too young.
Her aunt said that she'd give us 6 months, wouldn't
Yeah.
you?
You proved her wrong.
After we
didn't
got married, I'll give them 6 months.
And after 6 months, did she change her tune?
She had to change her tune. She's gone now.
So you were 24, you got married in 41, you were 17,
Yeah,
I
16.
was just about 17.
Yeah, I was
She was still
16.
and you
16.
were 16.
Yeah.
Did they have to sign permission for you?
Yes.
Oh
to-
yeah,
to
they
do-
signed back then, and there's others that got married on about that time as young. But I'll tell you, I went to work doing a man's work about 14 years old at a stave mill, catching staves, barreling staves out of a barrel saw, and that's a man's work. And then of course I worked hard. I learned to work hard.
So you had a source of income when you got married.
Yeah, I was cutting saw logging in Theodore,
And
cutting down trees and the saw logs out of them.
where did you get married?
Labor
At Avon, Missouri.
in
In
the
a-
courthouse.
In the courthouse, okay.
Avon, Missouri.
Did you have to have a witness?
Oh yeah, I had to have our mother and with us. Yep.
Do you remember what you wore?
Kind of wine looking dress.
Oh,
I guess I had a pair of overalls on, probably. That's all I ever wore 'em back then.
did he have on overalls, you think?
I can't remember.
Well, I expect I did, because that's about all I wore. Pants was on Sundays.
And
I still wear overalls.
uh,
I just dressed up for you all today.
and where did you spend your first night as a married couple?
In my mother's house.
At your mother's, okay. So she okayed after, she was okay with it then, for sure.
Yeah.
Did she give you more than 6 months?
She never did say, did she?
No, I don't think she.
It was Omi that said give you 6 months. She was her.
Well,
Did
you-
they give you any advice? Your parents give you any advice?
Not really.
Not really? Had your sister already gotten married, or were you the
No,
first? You were
no.
the first one to get married,
Yeah,
and were you the first in of your siblings
first.
first to get married?
I was the oldest. I was
Okay.
the oldest.
What were you on?
Yeah.
well, did you ask her fathers for her hand in marriage? Was that the thing to do back then?
Well,
Custom?
it was already. I didn't do the asking. No, we didn't do the asking too much back then. We just tell them, well, we want to get married, you know. They agreed with it. Yeah, they agreed with it. I knew it.
So you
My
got
dad will.
so you got married in January
Yeah.
of
January,
1941. Did you have to go to the war?
I went to the war.
You went to the war?
I was in 2 years. I was in the Navy.
Did you have to serve overseas? So that was after you were married?
Oh yeah. I
Wow.
was married when I went in the service. Wound up in Japan.
Do you remember the day he left?
No, not really.
I wondered if you went to the station or train station or bus station or what.
I guess I took you to the bus station, didn't I?
You know, I don't know.
I think I did.
I don't know. I came back from Fairgrade, Idaho for 2 weeks, wasn't it, or a week, and then I shipped out.
Okay.
I was in the Pacific campaign.
Did you communicate while you were gone? Mail,
Just by letter.
got a letter?
Got a letter, and I don't think she got too many of them.
No, I didn't get very many.
And did you fuss at him about that later?
Yeah.
They wanted to read your letters after you wrote them. You know, they
Did they censor any of your letters?
censored my letters, yeah. Everything one wrote over there is censored. Captain censored it.
Did you take anything from home with you? Like a picture of Norma or anything with you?
I think I had a picture, I
I don't
guess.
think he took any.
A man on. A man on.
We had twins, and I had pictures every month made and sent to him, but I don't
Yeah.
think he took anything.
Yeah, our first kids are twins.
And you had those before or service or while you were in service or
Yeah.
wow.
Well, we had the twins before he went in.
Wow.
Yeah.
You had your hands full then
Yeah,
while he
sure
was
did.
gone.
Yeah.
A twin having twins. That's did you have boy or girl or
Identical girls.
Two girls.
Okay.
Well, who helped you when he was at war? Yeah,
My grandma.
grandma.
Yeah, my mother helped too, but my grandma was the main one.
Yeah, I didn't get back. I didn't see her then for 2 years, almost 2 years. This last 7 months.
It was a long 2 years, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Sure was.
Were you working? Did
No,
you-
no, just took care of the girls.
They didn't. Too many women didn't have jobs like they do now.
No.
Back then.
Well, I guess some money would come from you from being in the service. You'd get
Yeah,
something
yeah,
from
she
that.
She got
Got all $100.
$100 a
You
month.
couldn't even begin to live on that now.
No.
That's more than I got. I got 22. Cause they fed me and clothed me.
And those were the days where you had to wash your diapers
Yeah,
before Pampers and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, you had to do
Them was
that.
the hard days.
Hard days.
Yeah.
Do you remember when you heard he was coming home? How that went?
I don't think she knew.
Well, you called from California.
Yeah, I
and
guess I
you was
did.
in-
When I landed in California, I called you. Yeah.
Then he come by.
And then
He
it came
spent an
by.
hour, and then he had to go on Jefferson Barracks to be discharged.
Okay.
I came by about an hour, something like that, from Springfield. We going through Springfield, going to St. Louis to get discharged, and I had 2 or 3 hours off. I called a cab, run me down there. It's 48 miles,
Wow.
and for about an hour, and then I had to leave. But then I was back. I was there over New Year's, wasn't I?
Yeah.
You know, after New Year's, when I got discharged, and
Were
headed
you,
home for good.
were you traveling by train or by bus?
But that train,
By train.
most of us train then.
So when did you go in and get out?
I went in 1940,
4 I think
Four.
was it, yeah.
just turning 44. I was in New Year's. I was just the last day of 43, I guess. 44, I was in. I was in Farragut, I guess. And then
You got out in 46.
46.
Okay.
Good day.
So can you describe the day you came home? What was that like?
You know, I don't remember.
You come home middle of the night.
Did I?
Yeah.
Did somebody bring me, or
I guess somebody maybe
I came in on the train? I don't think I walked, but I had a sea bag full of stuff. I always thought about that. I forget just how I got down there.
You were just glad to be home, huh?
Yeah.
Well, were you awake when he got home?
No, I think he's just come in my bed and shook the bed and woke up.
Well, I don't remember that part of it.
You don't?
No, I was thinking he got home earlier.
No, you got home middle of the night.
Oh, I did. Well, you know.
How did you feel when he got home?
Well, I guess I was happy, I don't know.
His turn to change the diapers.
Yeah,
Her emotions.
No, he got out of that.
Oh, by that time they were a little older.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was already trained by the time he got out.
So,
Yeah. And then I started to work at the creamery.
Oh.
And from there, I went taking up body and fender work. And I did that for many years. I worked Cadillac there 10 years. Then I came and I built wrecks out here some, and finally got out of that. Went to trucking for a while and trucked. I've just been a lot of different things I've done.
so what brought you to Oklahoma?
We went to California. That was our second trip to California. First time we lived in Los Angeles, and I worked from Lincoln dealer out there, I think, Bob Dodger. But then we wanted to come back. Mama wanted to come back. We come back to Mansfield, and I worked for a couple of weeks there at a Ford dealer, and I went on to Springfield and got another job. We moved to Springfield, and we lived there. I bought a place there. In fact, 2.5 acres, and moved off, and later they moved off, the government took it and put the interstate square across it. I lost some money there. And so she wanted to go back to California. She's boss. So we go back to California, and I went to work for a Lincoln Mercury dealer out there in Salinas. And we decided we'd come back again. But before I left, I had a shop in Springfield. And I was able to go back and put a shop in there. But my mother was here in Oklahoma, and I said, well, she said, well, why don't you get a job here? In February. We came back to California, you went back to Springfield, I was able to go back there. And I said, there ain't no jobs here. I said, it's February, and I said, well, she said you can try. I went to the paint dealer down here, automobile paint dealer. I said, is there any jobs open here for body and fender man? Yeah, he said, I think so. Wasn't even wanting to hear it. So I went to work that next Monday or Friday, I don't know when it was.
Monday, I think.
But I went to work, and I swapped jobs time or two, and then I went to Cadillac, stayed there 10 years. Just back shifting around, so that was the last trip to California that we made. You went back once. You went back with me one time trucking out there,
Oh, yeah.
San Diego.
So what year did you move to Oklahoma?
1954.
1950. And you've been here been in Oklahoma ever since?
So it's been a while.
You didn't quite make it back to Missouri then.
No, we never did.
Done some visiting, and now I don't even go back. All the folks are gone, except nephew up there.
And did you have other children
I had a boy and a girl.
after? Okay.
Yeah.
While you were here in Oklahoma, or while you were
In Missouri.
in Missouri?
We lost the boy in a wreck several years ago.
And did you work outside of the home any?
No,
No.
no.
Did enough in here?
Yeah.
Did enough at home?
He's been a home girl. We've had a good life. The Lord been good to us, and in spite of all. But I never rested. If I quit a job, or and that's the only way I ever left them, was quit them. If I quit a job, I was right back to work pretty quick. How'd you get that scar on your head?
I'll tell you later.
I noticed it. It's pretty good. Yeah.
So before you left for work each morning, would you give her a kiss and say, "I'll see you later"?
Do what?
Before you left for work each morning, would you give her a kiss?
I'm not sure about that.
No.
No.
I don't
Okay,
think
that's
I think the job is more important than the kiss was then.
Well, did you have dinner waiting for him on the table when you got
Oh,
home?
she always had
We
dinner.
Did you?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
never missed a meal. She was a good cook.
So at 5 o'clock or supper time, or was
Oh,
it
it's
more like
ready.
6?
More like 6, I'd say.
More like 6.
She is ready.
He was ready.
She's a good cook.
How would you two, how do you define love?
Well, I was trying to think of the word. Faithful to one another. Faithful to your marriage. Stick together. Marriage is one time. That's not the way it is now. I don't know about what her, you ask her now and find out.
How do you define love?
I don't really know. Just have confidence in each other and work out your difference and don't let it get ahead of you.
Now, did you two ever have arguments, disagreements?
Oh yeah.
How'd you work through those?
She got the best end of it, really. Yeah, she won the argument.
Is he being serious, or you want to counter that?
We agreed, and we worked out agreement.
Win some and lose some, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he pouted a lot. He might pout 2 or 3 days and then we get it worked out.
Oh, I didn't pound it.
Pout.
He did.
You're saying you set him straight after a while.
Yeah, he finally got it straightened out.
Yeah. Life is quite a trip. Married life.
Can you surprise each other these days? Or do you know each other
Not
too
so
well?
much now. She knows, but she reads my mind, and I pretty well know what's on hers too. There's a lot to that now. We just about all one another's thinking.
You can finish her sentences and she can finish yours?
Almost.
Almost.
Yeah.
Well, how do you keep the spark alive after 77 years? How do you keep your marriage going? How do you keep it interesting?
It grows on you. It's in your heart. It's just in you. You don't. There wasn't nobody in the world I've had but her. I don't know how she feels about me, but I think that's the way she feels. There's no other interest, but we're one another's comfort. That's, I think she thinks that way. Now here, at our age, we don't get away from one another too long, especially if we're at house, because we fall if we're not careful. And if she's in the kitchen and she'd go outside there, I check her out pretty quick. And here, if she gets the mail, she can walk a little better than I can now. And she runs the mail, she goes to the mailbox. But we look after her. And if I go outside, the first thing you know, she's out there checking me out. But I don't go out much anymore. I just don't get out of my back. It's not, as long as I said, I'm in pretty good shape, but some arthritis is really bad. But well, it's just a union growing that's it's just netted together, you know. I mean, we just like one another, I think.
You chose wisely.
Yeah.
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 Do you ever have any regrets?
No, I don't think so.
No, never did. Never did. I accepted it.
What was the hardest part of marriage for you? What was the most challenging part of being married?
I'll let her say. I don't know. I couldn't answer that really. I don't know.
I don't know what would be the hardest.
I never had no desire to be separated from her. Not at all. That'd be the last thought in my mind. Never would think of it.
Were your parents married for a long time?
Yeah, they were married several years. How many? I don't know.
Yeah.
How long they'd be married.
So they were role models? You watched them and...
I don't know. I can't say that my parents wasn't role model. Really, my dad, early in the part of his life, he had a drinking problem. And that always kind of bothered me. But they never went to church as they ought to. Never. My mother was a Christian. She knew the Lord, and but Dad wasn't until late in life. Turned to the Lord. Of course, they didn't live as long as we did. We passed at 82.
Your mother was 82.
Dad was 78, wasn't he?
I think he was 78, 79.
Somewhere along there. So we're a little bit longer.
You could maybe attribute that to Norma's good cooking.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, she done a good job with that.
Oh, I want to know, you had children, but who was the disciplinarian? Uh-oh.
I didn't.
I did most of it.
She did most of that. Where I was raised, I got disciplined pretty good. My dad, he laid the limb on me. But
You wouldn't have to say, wait till Dad gets home?
I never
No.
did that.
No, she
It
never.
needed to be done, it didn't need it right then.
Right then.
We,
But they was pretty good kids. I didn't have to get on to them too bad.
And you said you lost a child?
the boy, yeah.
Boy.
Yeah, he was, how old was Lewis when killed in that wreck? How old was he? How old was Lewis when he was in that wreck?
When you what?
When he was in the wreck,
Oh, he was 28.
28.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in a truck wreck.
And how did that affect you as a couple?
Oh yeah, that affects you the rest of your life to a certain extent. You don't forget that. Although you don't forget it. I don't think you don't dwell on it, but you don't forget it.
Some couples say it makes them stronger. Did it make you two stronger?
Not that I know of. Not that
I was just curious.
yeah. Yeah. We're pretty well united. We had 9%, but of course we both it does affect you both of you in a way. I guess it would be, but he knew the Lord. He was saved, and we've seen him. But you just have to accept life, you know. You accept it.
What about your secret, the both of you? What's your secret to staying married for so long, to one person?
Secret?
What's your secret recipe for staying married?
Well, if you just love one another, your relationship, it's what it is, and it's part of life, and it's the reality. And now, people getting married, they don't know, now a lot of them don't even know what marriage means, I don't think. Marriage is a sacred thing too. The Lord didn't expect us to swap back and forth. That's one of the things. But the first thing is your relationship to one another, and your love for one another, and your concern for them. And then one man, one woman. I don't know. I may be talking.
What's your secret?
I don't really know other than just trust one another. And I just wasn't married, was thinking, well, it's going to be a lifetime thing. And you have to trust each other.
You mentioned
Lifetime.
you mentioned a relationship. That's another question. Well, what's made your relationship different from any other married couple?
Well, I don't know, really.
It's a tough question.
Of course, I just don't know, other than our relationship to one another. As I just said, you're concerned for one another. I wouldn't trade her for all the rest of them. Yeah, marriage is a serious matter. It's a serious matter when you go into marriage. And of course, it wasn't that serious when we were younger. We didn't realize, but that grows. Your marriage grows. Your relationship grows, and you just well, part of you. It goes that they're just part of you.
I'd say getting married at 16, you had to grow. Long time to grow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's part of you.
Did he ever miss an anniversary?
Oh, he just missed a lot of anniversaries.
I'm not too
Lately or through the years?
not too up on that. She asked a bad question there.
Okay, next question.
No, he just don't remember them.
I can't keep up with that.
Well, what was the favorite anniversary gift, or just the favorite gift in general that you got each other?
Gift.
Her daughter does my shopping now. My daughter. Our daughter does her shopping now. And it's usually a dress, isn't it? What did you get last year?
Yeah,
You got nothing coming up pretty quick.
yeah.
A lot of dresses. But as far as this, that's I just not took interest in it like a lot of people do. Not that I don't have meaning. It don't have meaning. It does, but.
Well, what about for the 75th one? It was a pretty big anniversary. Did somebody remember it for you?
The what?
For your 75th anniversary.
The church put on.
So you got out of that one, huh?
Yeah.
He put on a dinner and give us gifts, and it was nice.
It was nice. Well, when your children were getting ready to get married, did you sit them down and give them some advice?
I don't think I actually just set them down. I give them advice. But,
What would you tell them, you think?
well, I just told them that's a lifetime thing, and they better think about it before they got into it.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's what it is.
And have they stayed married?
One of the twins didn't, but the other one has.
Did? Okay.
But he's passed away now, though.
Well,
Yeah.
50-50, you did okay then.
Yeah. And the younger daughter and her husband's together.
Okay. They had good role models to watch. You too.
Yeah.
But what advice would you give young adults today considering marriage?
Well, they better think about it a long time before if
I
it's
think-
something they really want to do.
If they know the Lord, you know, people get in a lot of trouble because they don't know the Lord. I think that's what holds people together a lot. I know this. I believed in God I've been saved many years. And it's a sacred union. And you better think of it that way, you know. That's one of the things there's just no, the thought of divorce had never hit my mind at all. It's never been a part of my thinking. I never even dwelled on it. Of course, the devil might, I don't know. I couldn't dream of it. As far as that's a sacred part of marriage, I think.
Well, and in the same, what's the secret to living to 94?
Ooh. You know, I don't know. I try to live fairly, not that I'm just sinning like everybody else, you know. I try to stay away from a lot of things that would harm you. Drinking and all this junk, you know. You gotta have a sound mind about the matter of life, you know. And not that I've been perfect, I haven't. Nobody else. But
Did you smoke? Did you smoke?
I smoked for some years, 16 years, and I quit that.
Oh.
Yeah. That's been a long time ago. I wouldn't have the least desire for it now.
Was that during your military service? You were
Yeah,
smoking during
yeah.
that time?
Yeah. And while I got back too. But
And you would be busy working with your hands and up and down a lot, so you got plenty of exercise in your job,
yeah,
I would think.
yeah, it's showing on me now too. Arthritis. Yeah.
But was there ever anything that bothered you about the other person? Sometimes a habit or
I don't know about her.
a pet peeve?
You never bothered me.
No, I don't think so.
She's been pretty quiet in her life. She's not she's the boss, but she's really not a boss.
What-
Teddy Roosevelt speaks softly but carries big sticks. But
Yeah.
discipline.
Yeah, yeah.
What would you do as a couple for fun? Like go to the movies or play cards, or what would you do
We
for
never
fun as a
did
couple?
We
get
didn't do anything
hooked
like
on that much. We didn't, not too much.
Family vacations?
We usually go to Missouri while we're here, but we can't go there anymore because I don't drive on the road and interstate. I drive locally here. All our people up there are gone practically. Nephews, she got some nephews up there, and I got some cousins up there in South Springfield. But I haven't been up there several years.
Do you ever have a favorite place that you two ever visited that you kind of remember together?
that.
A favorite place
Right.
that you two visited together that you always remember?
Well, I think the best remembrance is when we went to Colorado on vacation one year. And I enjoyed that a lot.
But that one
Where'd
trip-
you go?
Yeah.
We went out in the mountains, put up a tent, and we was gonna have a good time that night. It got so cold and like the frozen, so from there on, we got a motel.
Was this a family vacation or just the two of you?
This,
So,
the
we
family,
had the two younger children
Yeah.
with us.
we had them all with us.
No, we didn't take the twins. They was married.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right.
So
Yeah.
you opted for comfort,
Yeah,
not survival.
got up next morning, we took some cots and put in that tent and got up, and this is where you get wrong sometimes, and I like to have froze that night on that cot.
But somebody
Yeah.
told us to take a lot of newspapers and put down on the cot, and that'd keep the cold. You just don't believe it.
Next morning, there's a log out there, and we had a water can sitting on it, and I went out there to wash my face, and there was frost over that log, I think. So we decided we'd get a hotel from then on. Rolled the tent up.
You never went camping again?
Huh?
You never went camping again?
Never did, did
Yeah,
we?
we went down to Texoma one time.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We did go Texoma. Oh, so I forgot about that.
Just not in the winter.
Yeah,
It's not in the winter.
summer.
It's up there in Colorado. Yeah, and that was in July, wasn't it?
Yeah,
But it got cold that night. It frosted.
You must have been way up in the
Yeah,
mountains.
we was up in the mountains some. And right on a stream there where I could do a little fishing, but From then on, we stayed in a motel. And never tried a tent no more. Didn't work.
Well, since you've lived various places, where do you consider home?
This is home.
This is home?
I like Oklahoma, and she does too. She said, don't you?
Yeah.
But I like it here. The weather's not too cold and gets a little warm, but you can stay cool. And so I enjoy the climate here, and I enjoy the people here. There's nobody like Okies. I guess. How long you been here?
Oh, this is going on year 14. 14 years for me.
14 years?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Well, while you were in California, you weren't Okies at that point. You weren't.
No.
So you
no,
didn't
we
have to
went
deal
from
with that
Missouri
part.
to California. We didn't,
Yeah.
we was on the way back when we stumbled here.
I mean, I know they called people out there Okies,
Yeah.
and not necessarily a good thing.
And they got there from the Great Depression and Dust Bowl. Do you recall the Great Depression and Dust Bowl? How did that affect you? Because you two would have known each other.
Yeah, we did that depression time. That's something that younger people don't know about. That was bad. The Dust Bowl, dust rolled into Missouri, didn't it? You remember? The Dust Bowl, the dust rolled into Missouri
Yeah.
from the Dust Bowl here.
Mm.
Yeah, that was actually some of that dust from that far up. But for us hard times, we had hard times. It was hard, money, and there's a time or two got hungry. They was depression times. Depressing and depression.
Yeah, you would have been, in 29, you would have been 5, 6 years old, so you would
Yeah.
remember
Yeah,
some of that.
yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's hard.
Well, living on a farm, you had
We had plenty.
food, but
Really, that depression wasn't over. It didn't end until about the Second World War.
Mm.
That's when things began to pick up and jobs picked up, and of course military bases was being built and factories for war weapons. So, but that was in 39, because I left, we was on the farm, and my first job was up in Nebraska. I went up there, and that was at that ammunition dump, and they were building, so they were building railroads to ammunition, every place they put store their ammunition, and I worked on laying them railroads down, and then when I come back from there, me and Theodore went out to Neosho for a few weeks, and worked at a sawmill down there.
Was Theodore your brother?
He was my brother-in-law. He's dead now. That was her older sister's son. And we worked together quite a bit. In fact, that's what done long about the time we were married. Me and him was cutting down saw logs, and there wasn't no automation back then like there was now. It was elbow grease and the cross-cut saw.
Mhm.
One on each end. That's the way we did it.
Well, a little bit before that was the CCC camps. Did you?
CC came, he was in the CCs. Earlier, I think, or later, I don't know which.
Were you ever in one?
No.
No.
No, I'm just a little bit too young.
Too young. Yeah.
And so I didn't get in. I would have got in if I could have. It would have been a little bit income.
Mm-hmm.
But 75 cents a day wasn't too much money back them days.
When you didn't have any, it was enough. Yeah.
75 cents, $1, $1.25. And finally, got $1.25. Boy, that's a lot of money. Yeah.
Do you remember your first car?
Yeah. Half interest in a Model T.
Half interest?
Half interest. We get $17 for it. I paid for half of it, and he paid for half of it. And then from there on, my cars got a little better.
Yeah.
I think the next one I got was a Model A. And didn't get too many cars back then. Money is too scarce.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't know what money was.
Well, Norma, do you remember getting your first washing machine?
Well, yeah, I do.
At Springfield, wasn't it?
Huh?
At Springfield?
Yeah. Queen.
It was a happy day, huh?
Yeah. The name of it was Queen something, I can't remember all of it, but yeah, it was. It was a blessed day.
A ringer? Was it a ringer washer?
Yeah,
Was it?
yeah, it's gas.
And had you been doing the scrub board
Yeah.
before that with all those
Didn't
all
have
those
to do that
diapers?
no more.
Hard way to
That's
wash
the way it's
diapers.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't. It took a little better off people, I mean, financially to own a washing machine. Back then, you know.
It was a luxury for some, I guess.
Yeah.
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 Gas.
The luxury.
And hang clothes out on the line,
Out of the line.
no matter what the
No
weather.
matter freezing or not, you done it.
You did it, yeah. Well, did you raise chickens once you were married? Did you have chickens?
I don't think
We
so.
had
No.
chicken in Springfield, didn't we?
No, we didn't have no chickens in Springfield. We had a cow, but we didn't have no chickens.
You had
Yeah.
chickens. And did you sew and make clothes for your
I
for your
sewed,
children?
yeah.
Sewed for your girls, boys.
Yeah.
Did you quilt?
Yeah.
Did
I
you quilt?
Yeah.
All of it was old-fashioned way,
Yeah.
but nothing. Late
It
model
wasn't
then.
nothing easy. But you just knew you had to do it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you knew you had to do it. You did it.
So what about grandkids? Has your family grown over the years?
Yep.
Yeah, we had 8 grandchildren and 9 great-grandchildren and 3 great-great-grandchildren.
3 great-great-grandchildren.
Well, that's why we have all the cherries on the front porch
Well, hard to
then,
handle.
when they all come.
Yeah, they come.
They all come out here
Christmas
for
and
Thanksgiving
Thanksgiving
and Christmas.
We
Okay.
don't have a house full.
Do you have to do all the cooking?
No, I don't do very little of the cooking.
They
Okay.
bring most of it.
Okay.
Do you remember the day the first grandchild?
Oh, yeah.
How'd that make you feel?
Do what?
How'd that day make you feel when you became a
Oh, I
grandparent?
was happy. Yeah, he was a precious little boy.
Any twins?
He was a precious little boy then.
Yeah.
Well, no, if there's any twins.
Any of the grandchildren twins?
No,
No.
no,
Twins.
no twins.
No twins in the
Huh.
family.
Now the first grandson he's a doctor now.
How we doing?
Yeah.
So your girls were the last twins. You know, Eddie was a twin, and then you
Yeah.
had
Oh, yeah.
twins, and none since.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. On my side of the family, there's a lot of twins.
Hmm.
My aunts, both of them had twins. And, well, there's just a lot of twins.
Yeah,
Me and the old other. And it's just, I don't know, I guess it's genes or something.
Well, what had brought your mother to Oklahoma?
I think they come out here to work at Tanker, didn't they?
come out to work at Tanker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we've covered a lot. Is there anything else you want to add before we ask our last question?
Not that I know of. Well, I guess we're.
Anything you want to say to each other on the record?
No.
No.
Well, I want to know, when history is written, what do you want it to say about you as a married couple?
Yes.
Follow our example. That's not, of course, there's some things that won't work, but mainly follow the Lord.
And
I'd say go into marriage, but take the Lord in with it. If they live for the Lord, they'll have a happier marriage. If they don't, who knows what'll happen.
Yeah.
Well, for the two of you, I think it is Ed's sense of humor has helped too, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, if there's nothing else, thank you so much for sharing with us today. It's been great.
Well,
You two are terrific.
we appreciate you.